Yeah, good morning, my people. Uh, it's your boy Ayobami Obafemi again this morning. Today we are just going to tell some. I remembered something that happened a couple of years, while growing up, and then I just felt okay we should share it because especially with the kind of children we have today that may not really understand us when we speak in parables. I remembered visiting an uncle of mine, and when I got to his place, he obviously was not around. I met a wife who we are quite close. Auntie, how far? What's happening? I met her so moody, and actually tears were rolling down her cheeks. Auntie, what happened now? And she said, "Oh, pọ̀ me." Ó bá pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ lọ ná now. I mean, it means you have too much money. Just give me part of the money, and then why should you have too much money and then still be crying? Money is meant to be spent. It's not meant to be. You don't need to brood over it and all that. Ó pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ mi ẹ̀gbọ́n yín ò dẹ̀ sí ilé. If my uncle is not around, that doesn't mean you should not spend the money that you're there. Well, I was still very young. I didn't understand what she was actually saying, and it was about this period when children were going back to school. She needed to pay school fees. The husband was not reachable and stuff like that, and the man was not going to come back anytime really soon. The money that was left was just for the upkeep of the family, and of course that would not obviously pay school fees. Now, not that the man will not come back and pay his children's school fees, but the woman was bitter because at least she was supposed to stand in the gap even for the other, even if it means the husband will have to come back and reimburse her or give her back her money spent so far so good. Now, somebody that was there who was actually elderly had to tell me the meaning of Opolomi in the real sense, meaning she was broke and all that. I was like, wow. And I was just laughing when she told me Opolomi. I was just laughing. So she maybe to that woman, she felt I was making jest of her. Now I went back, I apologized. I was sorry, I didn't understand what that meant. Now something actually changed, for me at that very day. I have to make a decision within myself that okay, whether I'm there or not, whether I just have to touch as many people as possible's lives to be able to see how they can actually either work from home or do something that will actually generate funds for them. And growing up, well, we've tried a couple of things, like every other person out there must have done one or two investments that worked, that did not work, but then we kept trying until we found what this machine that I'm holding produces, which is money. It's Bitcoin mining machine. It creates money just like what we have that central bank does in every other country of the world. They mint money and then make it available for the populace to use. Now, this is the same thing that this machine I'm holding, does. Now, we have helped a whole lot of people in Nigeria, in Africa, to own this little machine that we're having here. We've helped a whole lot of people to be part of this, and then the issue of I'm broke or not is actually an history. Now, Bitcoin, as it is, maybe some of us don't know, got started in 2019. 2009, and then this 2018, 9 years gone. Now, at the point Bitcoin started, it was selling for cents. I actually have a friend that bought quite some huge number of Bitcoin in the early 2010. He bought it not knowing what it would turn out to be, But then he bought it, ignorantly he bought it and decided to keep, this currency in his wallet, about 185,000 units. Now, today, that guy is forever, made. Now, we have opportunity in front of us, creating Bitcoin under the platform of the only company that allows every individual like you and I to be part of Bitcoin creation, which is called Bitclubnetwork. And when you are part of Bitclubnetwork, this is actually what you are buying. This is what you are paying for. It is a mining machine that allows you to accumulate your own Bitcoin for as long as Bitcoin is mined, which is till the year 2140. One-time investment, everlasting return. Now, I don't think there is anybody listening to me or watching me live right now that will still be available, that will still be around here in the year 2140. Even children given birth to today, by the year 2140, they must have gone back to their creator, even if they are staying 90, 100 years. That means what we are talking about is transgenerational. Now, some of us that does not really know Bitcoin, how it works and all of that. One of the Swedish prime minister or something, one of the top leaders in Sweden said sometimes ago that Bitcoin will do to banks what the internet, emails, what it has done to post office. I don't still know how many of us out there that still go through the rigors of writing letters, driving or finding our ways to post office to go and send to go and post letter by buying stamps. I think those days are gone, and they are gone forever. Now, look at the Bitcoin the way you are going to look at the internet. Some 20, 50 years ago, people are not using the internet every day. But today, there is nobody that is not using the internet on a daily basis. As long as you are connected and you have a smartphone or your computer or your tab or anything, one way or the other, you are connected to the World Wide Web at every point in time. What you do on it is a topic for another day, but then you are connected because that's the only way you can keep yourself abreast of what is happening around the world. Now, think of the Bitcoin like that in another 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. As a matter of fact, in mining, we have a very short window for mining. Why did I say that? Now, Bitcoin halving will occur again in the year 2020. By mid of 2020, the total volume of Bitcoin that we mine today will be reduced to half. Now, today we are mining 1,800 Bitcoins per day, which brings it to 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes by these machines. This machine is responsible for verification of transactions on the blockchain. A new block of 12.5 Bitcoin is issued every 10 minutes, which then means that every miner that is, ably represented on the blockchain compete within themselves or among themselves every 10 minutes. All right. Now, by the year 2020 June, this 1,800 Bitcoin that we mine daily is going to be halved, and that's going to mean that every day it will drop to 900 Bitcoins per day, meaning every 10 minutes we'll be having 6.25 Bitcoins to be mined for per 10 minutes. Now, what do you think the value of Bitcoin will be at that time? Now, Bitcoin is $6,400, plus or minus. Now, by the time the halving of the blockchain of Bitcoin block happens in 2020, think about it. The production of something is going down. Then it is just natural that the value will definitely go up. Now, my question to you as an individual is how many units of this Bitcoin will you have by that time. Whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, it's just a matter of time. Bitcoin is what every one of us will end up, using. We will definitely look out for how to, be part of it. Now, when telecommunication started, if some of us were called to come and be part of it, we'll look at, why should I tie down my money? I don't think it's worth the trouble and all of that. But today, all of us are users. We are not 99% of those of us using telecommunication today, we are just enriching the owners of these industries. I read a pathetic story of a man that sold off his shares in Apple those days for how many thousands of dollars. If he had kept that shares today, it would have been one of the top, richest men around the world that we would have known today. Now, what will be your own story? What will you tell your children, when the time comes and they ask you, Daddy, Mommy, this Bitcoin they were talking about, where were you when people were taking, decision to be part of the revolution? Because it's a revolution, guys. Now, we were in South Africa about a week ago, and then we took a decision that this machine I'm holding, it is a mandate for us to ensure that this machine is installed in new 500,000 homes across Africa. How many will your home have? How many portion of this machine will be mining or be giving, money back to you? I have my partner in the house this morning, and then I want him to just share one or two things with us about, Bitcoin, about his own experience. So far so good in this revolution that we are on. Mr. Victor, you are welcome. They are listening to you. We want to hear your own experience, what you have to tell us about Bitcoin and the opportunities surrounding Bitcoin this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure being in your face this morning to tell you about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, this revolution, and where the world is going. I always try to start my presentation, or when I'm talking to people about Bitcoin, the first thing I say is we know the people, the most powerful countries in the world. The most powerful countries in the world today, there are 7 of them that are the so-called G7. And now you have Russia, you have Germany, you have the USA, you have Japan, you have China, you have the United Kingdom, and maybe one other country I cannot remember presently. Now, my position is, if we all know that part of a country's national security is its legal tender. Now, if Japan can make Bitcoin a legal tender, Bitcoin actually became a legal tender in Japan April 1st, 2017. Earlier this year, Germany made Bitcoin a legal tender. Between January last year and today that we speak, September, the number of Bitcoin ATM in America has grown by over 130%. This should be telling us something. When the world is facing a particular direction, we cannot afford to be looking the other way. Why? Because for so long, Africa has been playing catch up. This is an opportunity for us to at least, maybe not balance the equation 100%, but at least not be left behind in the coming revolution. Because the truth is, if the entire world is going digital, everything about our life is going digital, I bet you money cannot be left behind. And this is the reason why cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, which is at the heart of it, is in place right now. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, as much as you can, even if you do not think this is something you believe in. But for the sake of your coming generations, it's like in those days when new areas were just opening up. I remember my parents used to tell me that Lagos basically ended as Surulere. The likes of Ikeja, Agege, and the rest of them were just bush. And if anybody had invited you to come and buy a land there, then they'd have said, well, what are you going to do in that bush? But can you still call these places bush today? And those who have the foresight were able to take advantage of the opportunity back then. Today, it is the same situation we have facing us. It's either you take advantage of this revolution that's sweeping across the world, or you allow yourself to be left behind. Now, as we speak today, one Bitcoin exchange for $6,300 thereabouts. Now, if one currency anywhere in the world is exchanging against the dollar for over 6,000, what is the hope of our naira? Not like we are losing hope in the naira, but the truth is, this coming revolution is something we cannot afford to miss. This is a revolution that will sweep across the globe, and it's sweeping fast. Yesterday, news just broke that one of the biggest football clubs in the world has started its own cryptocurrency, Paris Saint-Germain. So everywhere, all over the world, everybody is embracing Bitcoin, everybody's embracing cryptocurrency. Africa cannot afford to be left behind. By the 50,000 units of the mining machine we're talking about, we're not saying that we want to come and install it in your home. Basically, what we're saying is that you, your family, your household have to buy a share of this opportunity. And the moment you buy your own share, it means your own unit of the mining machine is already installed in your home, because the moment it's installed, it's paying your family for life. So we call it a transgenerational transfer of wealth. Another thing you have to look at is the fact that money changes form every 100 years. And this is another that is happening right now. Money is changing form, money is going digital. You cannot afford to be left behind. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you tomorrow again by the grace of God. Thank you.